Hey guys, Steve-O here for Movies and TVs on the Ball and Nickelodeon. I've done a video talking about the Nickelodeon movies before where I discussed the Nickelodeon films such as Good Burger and Harriet the Spy and The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron that ended up becoming a TV show. But how would you rank, and this is for all my 90s, 2000s kids that grew up on these shows, how would you rank or which one is your favorite Nickelodeon television show? Did you grow up on Rugrats? Were you older were you a little bit too old that Rugrats was a little bit too crass? Did you enjoy Clavlam? What about Doug? Did you enjoy Doug, the Doug series from, I think it was like 91 to like 97, and then it went to Disney Channel or ABC Family, ABC Kids one Saturday morning. Hey Arnold, Hey Football Head. Did you like the Football Head and Gerald, and how Arnold's got his friends, and there's Helga G. Pataki, who had such an enormous crush on him? Did you enjoy All Grown Up, the sequel series, the What If the Rugrats grew up to be teenagers? That's a pretty decent show. Did you enjoy the Penguins of Madagascar, Jimmy Neutron, which was originally a film, and then I think they ended up becoming a series? Ren and Stimpy, which was so... When I was a kid, watching Ren and Stimpy felt so taboo because it was so nonchalant. And it was sort of like one of those shows that you didn't want mom and dad to watch. And then you had Angry Beavers with Norm and Daggett, I think is his name. The shows such as, and it was about them living in a pretty awesome beaver dam. And then you had Rocco's Modern Life with Mr. Big Head, and Rocco was like a kangaroo, and he had his dog Spunky, and he went through a bunch of stuff. And then All Real Monsters, which I've discussed before, talking about that show in a previous video. But I remember If Kiss and the Grom, then the Crockle. They worked at a monster school, and it was kind of a little bit of I had the blueprint for Our Real Monsters had a blueprint for Monsters Inc., if you think about it. Then you had As Told by Ginger, which I think was a lot more dramatic than I can remember, but it had a lot more teen angst than a lot of other shows. Danny Phantom, which was pretty cool because he was a superhero, I think. And then, of course, you had Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I've seen a couple episodes on, and I've discussed it. I was gonna cover the pilot episode, and it's a really strong show. From what I've seen, I think it's done really well. But let me know what's your favorite. And these are more animated shows. If you want to mention Kenan and Kel, the All That series, I've talked about that before. But, I talked about, I guess with Rocket Power, I liked Rocket Power. The kids were a little bit, watching it now, I think they were a little bit too overwhelming. Rocket Power kind of dealt with a bunch of teens that are like kind of X Games. And I remember there was an episode where they were they met Tony Hawk, and it was about Otto doing the 9,000. But let me know what your thoughts on Nickelodeon Nicktoons. What about Wild Thornberrys? Did you like the fact that she could talk to animals? Did you like any of the films that were based on the Rugrats movie? The Wild Thornberrys movie, which I felt was a lot stronger than the series itself. I did like the fact that Tim Curry was the father in Wild Thornberrys, and how he had sort of a nature documentary and the show was pretty cool. I liked Debbie. I thought Debbie was kind of cool. And Eliza Thornberry was a little bit of a nerd. Invader Zim. I thought Invader Zim was an interesting, weird show. I like it. From what I've seen of it, it's one of those shows I used to just kind of catch on with at all, and it was a pretty good show. I liked Fairly Odd Parents. I thought that show was really good. I liked the fact that like the Crimson Chin, and the fact that Timmy was 10 years old, and his babysitter Vicky was 16. But I think that I like that kind of looking at the fact that when you're like 10 years old and how 16, even though that's like 6 years difference, has such a has such a hoop on you. But then you had Barnyard and a lot of other Nickelodeon shows. But let me know what's your favorite Nickelodeon show. Give me a list and kind of maybe explain why you liked the shows. As always, I'm Steve, wanting to just kind of as always, I'm Steve talking about movies, TV shows. I really like them. What's your favorite? Did you grow up in the 90s and watched a lot of 90s animated Nickelodeon shows, or did you grow up in the 2000s, 2010, 2020s and watched Nickelodeon shows that I haven't really caught on because I haven't gotten into them like I did the 90s and 2000 shows? Let me know in the comments below. As always, like and subscribe, and Nickelodeon. Oh, and always peace, and see you at the movies. Bye.